Hey there, I'm Megan from TwoFeetFirst, and today I'm going to show you how to make metal brackets for a beam chandelier. This video does not share how to make the actual chandelier, but you can find the whole process on my website in the link provided below. Let's make some brackets. So to make this light, we have to bend some metal. I am using a 1.5 inch by 1/8 metal bar, and so it comes in a bar, and it's a 4-foot piece that I'm cutting into. This is what it does. It wraps around the board so you can see like that, and so I'm going to show you how I bent the metal, and this is my little contraption right here to do it. It's a break that I made. I'll link to the blog post on how I made this so that you can create your own. But this is how we bend the metal to wrap around the beam. Side note about this beam. So this beam was 8x8 beam, and we cut it down to a 6x6. So it is exactly 6 inches on each side. I don't know if that's how they come. If you buy a beam that's a 6-inch beam, it could be less because sometimes lumber is like that. But then what we also did, as you can see, is we drilled out the middle. I debated on using a circular saw and just cutting strips and then chiseling it out, but my dad had this nifty tool, and so he wanted to try it. And that's what we're left with. We did this to reduce the weight of the beam. So right now it weighs 30 pounds. Before it weighed a lot more. I'm not sure how much more, but we felt like 30 pounds is a decent amount. Everything that I bought for it will hold it. So make sure that your material will actually support the weight of the beam. I'm gonna mark this metal bar for the first part of this. Now, I do wish I would have gave more distance at the top, which I left 1 inch. I wish I would have done 1.5 inches, but since I've already done it, I have to continue on with that. So the way that I did this, my beam is exactly 6 inches. So I'm gonna add my inch onto that, and I'm gonna mark it. Now, you'll wanna measure your beam. It could be less, and then you'll add on the extra that you want. So mine is gonna be, my beam again is 6 inches, but I'm adding an extra inch for an overhang. As you can tell, I'm using a square just to make sure my line is square, because that's what I'm going to base my bend off of, is this line. So once I create my line, I'm going to move over to my break. Here's my metal break, and I'm going to slide this through, but I'm going to slide it until I can see the line. So the line is right here. I don't know if you can see it, but until I see the line, and then I'll tighten. And I also like to make sure that this is square. Once it is, I'll tighten these again with a wrench. And you will want to tighten with a wrench. I've noticed that hand tightening is not enough. It will move around if you do not tighten with a wrench. And that is the first bend. And so what I'm going to do is mark for the next bend. So the way that that works is I'm going to use the actual beam. And I will just center that. So I am completely flush over here. Board's sitting on it. I should probably make sure everything is level, and it's not. There we go. And then I'm going to mark right where it hits. that, after marking, I have tightened, aligned that on this one, and now I'm going to bend it. And I've also squared it up. Okay, so to get the actual height that I need over here, this is how. So I have the piece on the beam, and I'm gonna check to make sure we're square, which we are. And then I'm just gonna come over here and I'm gonna mark it. So on that line is the top of the beam. And then from that line, I will add 1 inch. And that is my cut line. So I have put the metal in my brake just to help it not move around. And I'm gonna use this little hacksaw to cut it. You can use other saws, but this is the cheapest option. And I think this one was $4. So just to give you a heads up. And also, after cutting, you will want to use this file to file the edges so that they're not sharp. Now you are left with your bracket to hold your beam. Once the metal's bent, as you can see, I have it wrapped around the table and then clamped together. I've used my square to make sure that these are flush at the ends, and then I have clamped them together, and I've actually marked. So I gave the top lip 1 inch up here, and then the middle of my wood is gonna be at 3 inches, so I'll add the inch plus 3, and that's gonna be my 4. And I created a mark on each of these right in the center of that. So I'm gonna take my drill bit and drill through those center marks, and this is where I will attach the support, these metal wraparounds, onto the beam. So I'm going to use a screw to secure it to those beams. Now that I have these holes drilled, I'm going to drill the holes where the hooks will be used to hang the beam from the ceiling. So to do that, I want to mark the metal a 1/2 inch away from this edge. So I will do that. And then again, I'm going to do in the middle of the metal. Okay, these ones are more important than those other ones of getting as precise as you can, just to this edge, because the hooks will be hanging, obviously. So try just to hit that mark with your drill bit. So now I'm going to spray paint all the metal. I'm doing 3 different projects here, but I'm going to spray paint that now. So that's my first coat, and I'll come back and do 1 more coat on this side. I'll flip it, do 2 coats on that side, and then see if I need any more coats after that. And after that, the brackets are ready to be installed onto the beam. Again, you can see the whole tutorial on my website. The link is provided below. Thanks for watching.